Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is now time for the best real estate podcast online. It is time for Lakeway Area Real Estate Talk Live with Mike and Dave Elkins, presented by Elite Realty Group.
To give you now some real estate information. Again, one of the questions we get a lot of times is about strategies and why we use certain strategies that we particularly use, why that we do those things. And again, a lot of it is because we really try to stay active in the market, look at statistics, see why things are happening, where things are happening, because it gives us, again, the upper hand if we know where and why things are happening. Right. But not only does it give us that advantage as realtors, real estate agents, real estate brokerages, you as a home seller, you need this information too. You need to know these things. Right, yeah. So we're going to give that to you today, and we're going to talk specifically about where do buyers find the home that they ultimately purchase? Where are they going out and looking and finding for? Because we get some questions that we're just like, if you really understood the market, you would understand maybe why or why not things are happening or don't happen the way that they do. So we're going to give you, again, these were provided by our friends at the National Association of Realtors, and these are current as of 6 days ago. They were a survey that was taken for the whole year. That's right. For the whole year of 2017, this is where the survey respondents said that they found their home. So we're going to talk about each one just for a few minutes, and we're going to tell you why that it's important for you as a home seller to have these advantages, or in some cases, disadvantages, why you want to stay in some of them.
Let me give some more breaking news.
Go with it, man.
So my watch just told me that at 9:40 a.m. we're supposed to get a brief snow shower.
Okay, man.
Everybody just buckle down.
Breaking
just
news.
Buckle down.
That's literally breaking news right there, right here on the show, man.
Just buckle down. We'll make it through.
Who needs the Weather Channel when you got us? Right. We can bring it to you this morning. Again, glad you guys are with us. So let's talk about where do buyers find the home that ultimately they purchase. The number one place. All right, we're going to give these to you in order, by the way, again, as those surveyed by the National Association of Realtors. I will say that I do think this is a national poll. Right. I will say I think area specific, these may differ.
They may differ
slightly, but not a whole lot. Right. Again, a lot of people surveyed to do this, but the number one place that people found the home that they ultimately purchased was, guess what? The internet.
Internet. It's a new thing.
It's a new thing just come out. It's a new thing. It's this thing where you would never believe what you can do on the internet. But
the World Wide Web.
That's exactly right. But again, 51%. I particularly thought that was low.
I think it's a little low.
I really thought that was low.
Well, I guess somebody got paid to do this survey. I would have thought it would have been higher than that.
Yes, but I'll also say that that's where they ultimately found it, where they found that purchase was on the internet. Of course, we know they didn't make it there. Right. But, again, 51% of those surveyed responded that they found the home that they ultimately purchased on the internet. Now, why are we telling you this information? Because if you're trying to sell a home today, 51% chance, if you're not on the internet, you're not going to sell your house, right? So you've got to, now, putting it on the internet just isn't enough. No. It has to be in the right places on the internet. Specifically, we're not going to endorse one or the other, or we're not going to bash one or the other. Right. But it needs to be on real estate websites that are on, as you called it, the World Wide Web, right? Yes. They need to be out there because that's where people are going. Again, smartphones, iPads, wireless, all of that stuff is changing the landscape of not only real estate marketing,
the whole thing.
All marketing, marketing of everything. Everybody is doing their marketing, their promotions. It is moving. It has been moving. It will continue to move to the internet.
Amazon. Has anybody ever heard of Amazon? It's putting stores out of business.
Absolutely, because again, it is the internet. That's where people are going to. How many, by a show of hands, have purchased something that you either found on the internet or you purchased it from the internet in the last 12 months? I do a lot of shopping on the internet, Yeah. I mean, like all real. When it was back at Christmas, we did almost all of our shopping on the internet. Yeah. So again, homes, real estate, investments, all of those things that's where it is. That's where they're moving. Again, I think that's low. I think it's probably a whole lot higher than that. Again, that's just where the home was when they found it. 51% said the internet. So you need to make sure if you or you know someone that's selling a house, they have a strong internet presence. That's why we talk to you all the time. You've heard us say before, pictures are important because they're going to find you there. That's where they're going to see it at. They're going to make an assumption off of the picture that they see that is the first picture of your house, whether they even come and look at it.
Yeah, we had a thing about that, remember, just a while back where people were saying they would rule houses out just by pictures.
Because of the picture. Because, again, they're looking at it on the internet. They don't have to get out and drive around, waste their gas anymore. You're going to see that in a minute. They can do it all right from their smartphone.
Right.
The majority of all marketing that we do, it's not even close. Smartphones outweigh all the respondents of anything we have. How many are watching us on a phone this morning?
Right.
It's the internet, man. That's where it is. So that's number one, 51%. Again, where do buyers come from? Where do they find the home that they ultimately purchase? They find it on the internet. What do you got for number two?
Well, good morning, Norma Spradlin first.
Norma Spradlin in the house.
So number two, 30% of people looking to buy a home find it from a real estate agent.
A real estate agent.
So a real estate agent introduces them to the property.
Right, and tell them why. Tell them why.
Well, that's why you should work with a good real estate agent.
That's true.
So if you work with a good real estate agent, they're going to know things that's coming on the market that maybe is not even on the market yet, which is becoming a more popular thing.
Big deal.
Because the market is so hot and booming.
Big deal right now.
A lot of times I might know I'm getting a listing on Monday.
Yes.
I can tell somebody, hey, there's one that I'm getting ready to list that I think you might be interested in.
That's exactly
and a lot of times they're lined up when it hits the market.
That's right.
They're lined up ready to
waiting on it.
Yeah.
Waiting on it to hit and take its place again. They also have the access to the MLS.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
They're going to see things again. We know the internet is, again, it's very popular. Of course, 51% found their home there. But a real estate agent is actually going to know about the house prior to it getting out on all those internet sites. Because once it hits that MLS, it's got to go from the realtor to the MLS to the internet. So again, a realtor, if they don't know that they've got it coming, they will even see another agent's listing prior to it getting out on the internet. But what you need to see is here a big number. You put the internet and a real estate agent together, it's 81%.
Yeah, you've got
81% of the people that purchased their house ultimately found it. They found the home through the internet and a realtor.
Right.
So again, reverse that. That means, you got a 19% chance of finding your home if you're not using those two. And I will go ahead and say that a good realtor, real estate agent, they're going to have a strong internet presence, which is why you, again, are going to want to be there. Now, you'll really want to pay attention here because here's where, again, demographics, dynamics, they change rapidly right here, okay?
Yes. We
We go from 51% on the internet finding their home. We go from 30% to the real estate agent, but watch number 3 coming in here. Number 3 comes in at 7%. 7% of the people. Now, we're going to be all below 7% on everything else here.
Yeah, from here on out.
7% of the people that ultimately purchased their home, they found it because of a sign in the yard.
Yeah.
They were driving around. Again, people are not doing that no more. You can see now it does happen, but 7% of the people that ultimately have found their home because of a sign or an open house sign in the yard. Yeah. That's important that you have a sign in the yard.
Yes.
But that's not going to sell your house.
That's not where you get your buyers from.
Yeah.
No.
Again, we see a lot of...
Go back to thinking that because we can look at it as if you list with a realtor, if that's the only thing that you're getting is a sign in your yard, you really need to do some serious heart-to-heart talking with somebody.
Right.
Or if you're a for sale by owner.
That's what I was going to do.
And that's the way you're going to get your home sold is by a sign in the yard.
Yes. It's going to be a low chance.
Are 7%.
7%. That's exactly right. It's a low chance for you to get that done. Is it impossible? What was it on the Dumb and Dumber? So you're saying there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
You're saying that yes, there is a chance.
But again, 7%, is that what you want?
No.
Is that what you're looking for?
If you're ultimately wanting to sell your house, I don't think that's what you want.
Yeah.
Would you agree? I don't think that's what you want.
I mean, again, I would think you're not really wanting to sell it too bad if you're giving yourself a 7% chance.
Right. I agree with you.
I'm bad with numbers, and I know 7% is not good.
Not a good chance. Not a good chance. So again, these are why we want you to be prepared, because again, is it against the law? Is it a broken rule that you can't do these things yourself? No. You can do it yourself. We've told you that 100 times, I bet.
Right.
But again, if you're doing it yourself, guess where you want to be? The internet and a real estate agent helping you, maybe bringing you a buyer. Not necessarily listing your house, but maybe bringing you a buyer to that house again, because that's where it all happens.
30%, just if you're just looking for an agent, it's 30%.
That's right. So again, a 7% chance if you got it just a yard sign in the yard. What do you got for number 4?
Number 4 is a friend, a relative, or a neighbor would introduce you to a property. So that you're in what this is saying is you're going to wait on a friend to tell you about what, hey, I saw this house over on Chickamauga Street. You need to go look at it.
Yes.
So 6%.
6% chance there. That's where, again, where do buyers find the home that they ultimately purchase? 6% of them last year found it through a friend, a relative, or a neighbor. Now, let's go good and bad here. Good cop, bad cop. He was saying it's bad on the 6%. I'm going to take the good side of that and say that's why if you're trying to sell a home, you need to tell all your friends you're trying to sell this house. You need to tell your relatives, and you need to tell your neighbors that you're trying to sell this house.
Spread the word.
One of the things, the reason why we tell you to tell your neighbors a lot of people don't even know their neighbors, but if you're going to sell your house, go tell your neighbors, because we pitch it this way. It's an opportunity for the neighbor to actually pick their next neighbor.
Yeah.
You want to let a bad dude get in, or you want to pick your neighbor, right? So it's an opportunity for you to do that.
Because a lot of times they have friends who say, I would love to have a house in your area.
In your neighborhood.
In your neighborhood.
That's exactly right. So tell the neighbors that you, again, are going to be selling your house. You could potentially get a buyer. Hey, 6% is 6%, right? It's going to up your chances.
There's a chance.
6%. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So the next one coming in again is at 2%. We're going to go at 2% here, okay? They directly know the seller, or directly the seller is involved in that, directly from the seller. That's a pretty low chance.
Yes.
Of just, again,
2%.
You being a seller and you spreading the word, you telling the love, you doing it all on your own, you being the marketer, you being the
We're
chief.
getting real low now.
Yes, we're getting low. Again, 2% of the people surveyed responded and said, yes, we found the home we purchased directly from a seller. Now, that could become saying for sale by owners right in there.
Right.
Because that's directly involving the seller.
Right.
So again, 2% of the people responded said directly from the seller. That's a pretty low chance.
That's bad. I mean,
why do we want you to have this information? Why are we telling you this? Because we don't want to see you make the mistake. Again, most of the time when people sell their house, there's a reason they need to sell it and they need to move, right?
Right.
We hope you choose us. That's just a fact of the matter. We hope you call us up, and we know that most of you will. But however, we understand fully. They've been people on this show before. They've done it themselves, and that's okay.
Right.
Just don't be the only one. Don't take all of that and try to wear all the hats yourself.
Right.
Directly from the seller is a 2% chance of you doing it all on your own.
No help.
2% chance.
2%.
That's low. That's
Yes.
a very, very low chance for you to get that done. Where again, you could have directly from the seller, you doing it all, you're the marketer, again, you're making all the ads, but you could go 2% from the seller, just throw it on the internet, man, you just went up 51%.
Exactly.
That's why we're telling you this.
Right.
And people say, why would you be telling someone that could sell it themselves to do this? We want you to sell your house.
Yeah, because there is some for sale by owners that put it out there on
Absolutely.
Zillow, Facebook, different things like that. But
Yes.
you would be surprised at the ones that don't.
I agree.
This is the 2% one.
Yes.
You're going to hear it right here, so I'm going to go ahead and say the number.
The last one, by the way.
The last one, it's less than a 1% chance.
Hear this, man.
Less than a 1% chance is a print newspaper advertisement.
Right.
So there is a ton of for sale by owners out there that are just
using a
doing
print.
these bottom two.
Yes,
They're
absolutely.
doing by what they tell people. No advertisement at all.
Right.
Social media wise.
Sure.
Internet, which is the World Wide Web. Which is
Right.
or they're just doing word of mouth.
That's true.
And print in the newspaper.
Right. So don't make that mistake.
So you've got,
A 2.5% chance.
If that.
We'll give you a 3, man. Let's go for
Let's
3.
give it a
right?
3%.
Let's go on a 3% chance. And again, just don't make that mistake. We've talked to you several times about, reasons you need to do this, reasons you need to do that, and we won't go down that road anymore. But we want to give you, again, hardcore, fast, strong information that, again, the National Association of Realtors surveyed home buyers for the whole entire year, the whole entire country of 2017, and this is where they said they found their house.
Right.
So,
right.
Again, you can take this and use it to your advantage. We're certainly, as agents and a broker, we're going to use this to our advantage.
Right.
We're going to use these things to our advantage, again, as knowing where we're going to do what we do. Are we going to spend money on print? You probably won't see us there,
I tell
we
a lot
may
of
do a
people.
sponsorship. We like to do a lot of sponsorship of local schools, local charity events, so on and so forth. But we're not doing that for an advertisement.
Mm-hmm.
We're literally doing that to help out, to do something.
Right.
So you may see our name on a print advertisement, but that's because we wanted to probably sponsor something,
right.
help some kids out, help a charity out, help the police department out, whatever it is that we choose to do on those things. It's more for that than, again, to have that name, because that print's just not going to happen.
And I tell a lot of people this, those books are great things. The real estate books, they're great. But honestly, if it's a good listing, it's going to be sold before it ever gets in that book.
Right.
And I'm not knocking the books at all, because there's a lot of people that still come to our office and pick up books.
Right.
That's okay.
That's okay. Totally okay. But again, that's just where people, again, that were surveyed that bought homes in 2017, when they responded to the survey, that's where they said they ultimately found their house. So let's review. The number one place is the internet. Then at 51%, number 2 is a real estate agent at 30%. Number 3 is a yard sign, open house sign, 7%. 6% said they found it through a friend, relative, or neighbor. 2% said directly from the seller or they knew the seller. And less than 1% said print or / newspaper advertising. So again, use those statistics, that knowledge that someone else has already done the work. Use that for your advantage, right?
Yes.
We thank each and every one of you for listening to today's podcast. Tune in for future episodes by subscribing to our channel and get the latest and greatest real estate information right here on Lakeway Area Real Estate Talk Live, presented by Elite Realty Group. Until next time, have a great and blessed day.